Cannoli.
Hola, and welcome to Leading Off Live, brought to you, of course, by FantasyPros MLB. It is me, Jose Cannoli, and, of course, my tag team partner, Welchismo
Welchismo.
Today is the 20K celebration, a very important day for all of the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks who have supported this program since its inception. We are here, the greatest tag team in the history of fantasy baseball, to bring to you the greatest tag team content ever. And of course, we'll get to the headlines, we'll get to the betting, we'll get to the fantasy, we'll get to all of it. But first, of course, a very special shout out to all of you. We could not do this without you. We are so excited to be here today, live for the program. Jose Cannoli, Welchismo, the best of the best. And of course, if you want the best and the best of betting, bet over at bet365. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you do, when you use the promo code leading off. Welchismo, I know I saw that promo of you. You seem to have been hitting the gym pretty hard, my friend. You look good.
Welchismo is happy to be here for 20K for the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Oh, yeah. It is not very hot in my mask, and I am not sweating, and this will not be difficult for 30 minutes because Welchismo is for the people.
Yes, and this is why I'm a little smarter than Welchismo, because I got the mask without the full mouth thing going on here, but I figured it would be easier to talk. But I appreciate the full commitment to the bit. That's what I appreciate.
Welchismo is committed to the bit, everybody. We're going to see how this goes wearing this mask the whole time. But it's pretty exciting. We've got our things. Did everybody like the entrance? Thank you guys for getting to 20K. Can you imagine what else we would do? And Joey, we've got an awesome thing. We were able to convince the commissioner of the Fantasy Pros Wrestling League. Well, I was gonna do a Vince thing, but let's not do that. It's a very good individual that we have here to allow us to do a little tiny giveaway. So there is going to be a poll I just put up right now on the Fantasy Pros, which
more free stuff.
Yeah, so you guys get to vote who would win, Jose Cannoli versus Welchismo right here. And you guys choose in the poll, and the winner, so if Joe wins, he gets to pick somebody in the chat that's going to get one of those codes to go get a hat or a shirt over on the Fantasy Pros shop. Or if I win, I get to pick. So go and vote in the YouTube poll right now. Jose Cannoli versus Welchismo.
I love the chat so far. I'd like to post all the comments, but I'll post Joe's here. I look too much like Rey Mysterio already, which, again, I put it on, and Rey and I have very similar body types, I think, just to complete the thing.
Yeah, but so it's also like, it's Italian colors. It worked for your bit.
It's Italian colors. It's Mexican colors. It's both. It's a little everything. Antoine Cruz says, imagine seeing this YouTube channel for the first time and seeing this going on. That's our goal. That's our goal. We want to alienate and intrigue people at the same time here on the program. We're going to get to all the baseball, but again, this is about the 20K celebration today. And yesterday was a light slate, so we figured today was the perfect day for a little bit of fun. So somebody's going to win something for free today, which we absolutely love. But let's start here with the headlines. And Aaron Judge hitting a huge homer yesterday, 473 feet. Mr. Judge is back. In fact, he is really back, Welsh, because the last 15 days for a guy who had been struggling and getting a little booed at the stadium, all of a sudden things look very different. Over the last 15 games here for Aaron Judge, 5 homers, 12 RBI, 10 runs, hitting 340 with a 446 OBP and an 1191 OPS. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Aaron Judge is going to be fine.
Welchismo is a big fan. of Aaron Judge, and Aaron Judge is definitely the Andre the Giant of our setup here. But yeah, no, I mean, this is what Judge does. That Yankee team, I remember early offseason conversations about, I don't know about the Yankees and the pitching and stuff. Well, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, they're doing the thing. Judge is a good bet here. What this chat is going nuts too, by the way.
Oh, the chat is live today. We told you to be here live for the show today. We said it was going to be a good time.
Did I ever tell you, not to go on a tangent, because what's happening here is
because we never do that. We never.
Well, we're getting like, I don't know if you did this, like Mctunda is full on here. Welchismo will destroy Cannoli without any worries. But what's funny is this is almost turning into like e-wrestling. And I told you my old e-wrestling story from back in the day. This has a very like, everyone is narrating the script of how this is going to go for us, which is killing me. And by the way, I do want to let you know, though, Jose Cannoli has a commanding lead right now in the chat. So make sure you're voting. We'll pick somebody out and we'll do it in 15 minutes or whatever. We'll end the match.
A fighting background. So I had that going for me, I believe. I think I've got a little stray piece from my mask all of a sudden as well. So I have to fix that. But Welsh, or should I say Welchismo?
Welchismo, please.
Today is not only a great day because of all the fun we're having here at the program, but also Logan Gilbert has been nothing but great all year. And that has done nothing but absolutely infuriate the Welsh the entire month of April into May. Finally, Logan Gilbert has come back down to earth. He had a 1.69 ERA. Well, that's gone because yesterday he gave up 8 runs in 4 innings. So that had to feel pretty good for you. But still, Brian Wu returning to this rotation. I still say the Mariners have the best rotation in baseball. I still say that this is the time to buy your shares in the Mariners because over the long haul, that rotation is going to matter. They can make trades to bring in more bats, but the Logan Gilbert bad start, probably not good for the fantasy managers out there, but you had to take a little bit of joy in that after he's really kind of hit you with the low blow for most of the season so far.
I had a bet, so it was actually another blow to me because I had taken the under in that inning. I actually had taken the, I think, first inning under a little bit on there. So that didn't feel good. But yeah, I was a super anti-Logan Gilbert guy. You want to hear something, though? He got blasted. I mean, it was like a 2-on-1 hardcore tables, ladders, and chairs match with us. He got destroyed, except he had 18 whiffs in that start, which was one of the tops of the day, 11 of them on the slider. He was just sitting in the zone way too much. He was getting banged around. As much as I'm not the biggest Logan Gilbert guy, I actually think it's a great time to buy right now. I asked a really interesting question on ITL this week, Joe. Who would you rather have rest of season, Logan Gilbert or Shota Imanaga?
That's interesting.
Brother.
I think I would go with Imanaga there. I'm just an Imanaga guy. There's something about him, again, the art of pitching, the lost art form of pitching. Everybody's just trying to throw the ball through a barn door. The lost art of pitching to me is when I watch Shota Imanaga pitch. I'm not saying Gilbert doesn't have that. I think Gilbert is a very steady middle of the rotation kind of starter who happened to have a great opening to the season. I think you're going to be very happy at the end of the year. He's going to have more than a 2-to-1 K walk ratio. You're going to have a good amount of wins. You're going to have everything that you bought in for. But I'm sure there'll be a stretch where it's not as good as it was to open the season. Imanaga is that unknown where if I'm rolling the dice and say, who's got a better chance to finish as an SP1? I think it's Imanaga because I've already seen Gilbert at this level and kind of get an idea who he was. And I'm not saying this based off of last night because he had one bad start. Like that, I'm not making that comment. But I think we kind of have an idea of who Logan Gilbert is, which is a really solid middle of the rotation fantasy starter who probably was a little boring in terms of draft day capital. And now we got to a point where we're actually very excited about him. Andy just got here to the show and he's extremely confused. Well, too bad, Andy. You should have been here when we started. That's why you ring the bell for notifications. I don't know what.
Guess what? Welchismo is going to surprise you. I think I'm going to take Logan Gilbert because I can't get over, and it might be one of those things the entire year I just, eat this, but I just can't get over, like, Imanaga has been incredible. I love him. I think, he's established like the level that he's at, but he still has done everything off of 2 pitches. He has done everything off of fastball and splitter. And I just don't know if I buy that season long being able to stand, especially if that splitter kind of deteriorates a little bit. Gilbert, dominant slider. The splitter has been in there. He's added the cutter. Like, he just continuously adds. He's had great command this year. Strikeouts are up. This was a one-off. I actually think this is Gilbert for me. And Welchismo was no big Gilbert fan in the season,
No,
but
he was not.
He has joined forces with the Logan Gilbert.
He's in your faction now. Is that what you're saying?
He's in our faction. Yeah, the Fantasy Pros faction.
The Fantasy Pros faction. By the way, shout out to Ethan on graphics who made all these amazing graphics for us today here too. And Welsh who put the time in for these AI. See, look how far AI's come. I mean, look at that.
Oh, and Mayor, and shout out to Mayor. Mayor helped me with these. We were talking.
No, I don't want to shout Mayor out. No,
we have some other versions. We have some Simpsons versions of our characters as well that were floating out there. But
look at that. Look at how far AI came from this earlier last year. Like the scary lasagna stuff into this now. That is very exciting stuff. But yes, this was a team effort here. A team effort of stupidity. And again,
this is what we do.
It's what we do. All right, let's continue on here. Let's talk about Josh Hader got a 4-out save yesterday against the Yankees. So I'm a big proponent of buying Josh Hader off the 5.63 ERA. I don't know if it's something you could really do because you look at the strikeout to walk ratio, it's still 25-7, 16 innings, 25 strikeouts. I mean, he's still Hader regardless of what the ERA whip looks like. But sometimes people get a little kind of frustrated with a pitcher at this time and people think closers. I'm going to ask you a question, and maybe this is again a loaded question because we don't know what the rest of the season looks like for this guy, but there hasn't been a closer more exciting than Mason Miller.
I was going to ask you this, if you
rather have Mason Miller rest of season, or would you rather have Josh Hader, because we don't know what Miller is going to be as the season goes on. Plus, apparently the A's have been shopping him. Did you hear this? Ken Rosenthal was talking about this, that apparently they were shopping him and the price was really astronomical. But I can't even imagine it. If you could get one, if you were the Orioles, if you could get Mason Miller, you go do that. You take one of these million prospects you have and go do that and lock down this ninth inning. But again, the problem is, can he even hold up over this sort of a grind of a 6-month season as a closer? We don't know the answer to that. Hader's been number one guy on that list. It's an interesting question. I want to know what the chat says. Hader or Mason Miller? What do you say, Walsh?
Welchismo, please.
Welchismo. Pardon.
Welchismo is torn on this because there are two clear paths. One, I see. You know what I say? That was about to be like, one is on the great team and blah blah. Astros stink. They suck. They're going to get better.
Team. Yeah,
they're going to get better. But the A's are on that bottom ring. I'm going to probably surprise you. I'm going to say Mason Miller. I think Mason Miller, from a performance standpoint, is the best closer in baseball right now from what they're doing. The A's are the problem. I kind of don't believe they're going to trade him, but with that trade out there, I think I would go. I don't know if Mason Miller is going to get hit up this entire year. I think Miller is the guy. And if he were to get moved, imagine he gets moved to a team that is in real need of a closer. What if he went to the Dodgers? You know what I'm saying? What if he went to the Phillies or something like that? Mason Miller is the clear-cut number one. Now, I don't know what this matters, by the way. You want both of these guys, but Mason Miller on the move, I just don't know if I completely buy. I'm actually shocked to see all these Mason Millers in here.
I'm a little surprised, too.
Welchismo, surprised.
Welchismo, everybody. It's like Miller here. Jason's on the team Hader side, a little bit more reliable over time. Look, man, Miller's been spectacular, but again, my always concern with him is we know the arm issues were lingering and around. So this is why he ended up where he did in the first place. It's funny. You remember back in the day where Eric Gagne came onto the scene and Gagne was supposed to be this like next great arm for the Dodgers. And they were like, you know what? We don't think he's built for that. We're just going to let him close. And then he became this unbelievable fantasy closer for a window of a couple of years where it was just lights out and incredible. It feels like that's kind of what we're reliving with Mason Miller. And look, I'm the Mason Miller guy, but at the end of the day, it's an interesting conversation. Yeah. Speaking of interesting conversations, I saw this yesterday and I thought it was fun. So in case you forgot, Monte Harrison, once upon a time, minor league baseball player who was part of the Christian Yelich trade. He is now going to play football. He's committed to the University of Arkansas as a walk-on wide receiver. Now, Monte Harrison was part of the Yelich trade. So the Marlins traded Yelich to the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers, in exchange for, get this, Harrison, Lewis Brinson, Isan Diaz, and Jordan Yamamoto. Now, you want to talk about one of the highway robbery trades of all time. Yamamoto, I think, is actually, I saw he's coaching baseball for a high school right now. One of the guys is in the Atlantic League. I mean, what a one-sided deal. I mean, that is all time. And this is why the Marlins are the Marlins. Because just like the Pirates, when they traded Garrett Cole away and they traded this guy away, when they started selling pieces off, when you don't get the right returns, it really does set you back. And this goes back to that. If you're going to be a small market team, you better have the best scouting department in the planet. Otherwise, you're going to get fleeced on deals like this. And they absolutely got fleeced in retrospect.
And you know what? Joey Cannoli had the wrong overlay back up there. Welchismo agrees with you that it is one of the craziest trades.
No, I did. I
interviewed.
Force of habit.
I interviewed Monte Harrison a couple years back. You guys can go and check it out on Prospect One. It was actually the day the Marlins revamped and did those new jerseys, and he was the very first person to do it. And I've seen him a bunch. He's an incredible athlete. I'm not surprised at this, but I don't know if you know this as well. His brother played in the NBA. So you've got this opportunity of this guy where you could have this family that has been NBA, MLB, and then maybe there's something with the NFL. Monte Harrison is a physical freak. He's an incredible athlete. So it is kind of, I guess, shocking in general, but it's a cool story outside of it's one of the worst, most lopsided garbage trades. And then a player that was a really heralded, top big athlete. The next guy, he just fell between, the cracks and never was able to really get hitting and anything like that. But I think he could succeed. It's just going to be weird because what's it, like 28 years old or something like that? It feels like a movie when guys go and
your
play
dream.
Stage.
Live your dreams. Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us.
You know what? And guess what? We're going to be hulking up. We're going to be welshing up here, everybody, because I'm closing the gap a tiny bit. This match is ended soon, but come with me.
No,
we're welshing up
vote
here.
For me. Everybody knows look at these hands. Yeah. I've got the fastest hands on the planet.
Like little baby hands. You got look at these big man hands.
I will dance around the ring for 5 minutes. Welsh will be exhausted. Welchismo will be completely exhausted.
I am so exhausted in this mask.
Your cardio in that mask is not good. Let's just BT, by the way. Miller versus Hader is basically Woody versus Buzz Lightyear. I have a strong opinion on that too. Woody all day long. He was the original leader of that room. Buzz Lightyear comes in.
Why did Buzz Lightyear why did he get his own movie and Woody didn't?
I don't know. It's a good question. I guess one could argue all the Toy Story movies are Woody's movies at the end of the day.
Guess what? Welchismo asks the best questions, even though he's not currently in the lead of who would win the match on the poll on YouTube, where I could pick you to win you. But it's
but you want me to pick you. That's what you really want. By the way, we got to tell everybody what our finishing moves are. I got to figure out what that is. Also, Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter, Ipe Mizuhara, is pleading guilty to multiple charges, by the way, of bank fraud and false tax returns. So that's a good time. I heard there's also a movie in the works already about this. I don't know if you heard this, but that's just crazy. All right, let's get to the ups and downs from yesterday. Up number one is clearly the Aaron Judge rebound. Christian Yelich, who aforementioned 3 for 4 with an RBI. Pablo Lopez, another good start for him. Remember, we talked about him as a buy low at the beginning of the season. The ERA was high, but the xERA and the FIP were all low. It's a matter of time. Well, guess what? 1 run, 10 strikeouts, and 6 1/3 over the Mariners, who continue to struggle offensively. Can we please get the Mariners some offensive help? 3 down, Keaton Winn, 7 runs, 3 2/3. I know he was on your betting sheet yesterday. Reed Detmers, you could just drop him. 6 runs, 5 innings. The Angels are going nowhere. They lost to the Royals. Forget it. And Sonny Gray, I don't know if it was like the moved game situation where it threw him off. 6 runs, 5 innings. Starting pitchers are such creatures of habit. In those daily transaction leagues, when a guy gets off of his normal routine, like Sonny Gray, it's hard not to start Sonny Gray. He's been so good. But do you ever have that second guess where you're like, he's off his routine. He's got the extra day. Maybe he was mentally prepared. Now he goes back. And then I feel like more often than not, when these things happen, you get weird starts like yesterday for Sonny Gray, who up until yesterday had been fantastic.
Yeah, I actually get like anxiety whenever one of those, there's like a rain delay, and those guys are pushed by like an hour before they start going or whatever it is. I don't like any routine being pushed off. And that's actually one of the reasons why I moved away from Sonny Gray and making any bets, because if you remember the day before, I had Sonny Gray on the strikeouts. Then the game got rained out, moved to the next day. Ray's also kind of stinky, but I moved away from it because, their entire situation was adjusted and I don't like it.
I have my finishing move, just so you know, Welchismo.
Oh,
the sweet cream music. That's what it is. After my favorite Shawn Michaels, my guy from my childhood, the sweet cream music. That is my finishing move. And yes, maybe that's slightly inappropriate, but that's why you love leading off. Welsh, or Welchismo, I should say. Do you have your finishing move yet? Have you figured out what it's going to be?
I haven't. We'll have it by the end of the show.
You need more time now. You know why? Because you cannot handle this. You cannot handle my sweet cream music.
Oh
yes,
boy,
we are walking.
I hate it. You do know that what's going to happen is someone out there, one of our awesome. I was actually almost going to commission this, but we didn't have time. Someone is going to pull up WWE 224 or whatever the hell it is, and they're going to create us.
Of us.
Yeah, they're going to create.
If you do that and you simulate. You know what? We should have thought ahead and done that. Like
I told you, I thought about having someone do that, and we could have a full match that we could play, or we could put it out there. But yeah, I know 100%.
Oh, this is a cutter. That's actually not bad. The cheese.
Yeah,
cutter.
like a DDP. Yeah, no, I'm
another one from JP. The prospect elbow. Ooh, not bad.
Those are both of my moves.
Very good. That is very good. The prospect.
I'm going to take both of them. All right. I've just hit the prospect elbow. I've just got, what the hell's the cheese cutter. But unfortunately, Joey came back with I'm not going to say, what is it? The
sweet cream music.
Sweet cream music. It's a disgusting end. But Joey Cannoli wins with a 64%. Joe, you ran away with the match. You beat Welchismo. So you, by the end of the show, get to pick somebody. And that person will then have to hit Joe up, and Joe will get to pick. Also, Mike Mayer said he posted all the other AI versions of us in the baseball Discord, the free Discord, if anyone wants to go check it out.
Ah, very good. Very good. I love that.
I will be back.
Michael, by the way, the cutlet pounding pile driver, also walking the line.
These are great moves for me. I think the cheese cutter is one because I do love cheese, and then the prospect elbow. Those are both of my moves. So,
somebody asked us, what are we going to do for 25K? I thought we said it on the show yesterday, but maybe I just said it to you in our conversation. I think it has to be me eating pineapple pizza live here on the show for the first time. Like I can't think of a more disturbing thing for myself to experience that would bring you and all these people joy of making the Italian, a capital THE, eat a pineapple pizza right here live.
Something like that. I don't know. I mean, how would you do the show? You're just going to eat pineapple
angrily? Angrily would be my answer. I would do it. I mean, Angry Joe is also, a very popular character. I actually have somebody in mind that I would like to give the hat to. And it's somebody that is always joining us here, is always joining us over on Cleaning Up as well. Comes onto the stage. I think McTunda should get it. I want to give it to McTunda. So somebody who has shown up for the show, is showing up in the chats, is showing up in the Discord. McTunda, you are the winner today. So let's get in touch with McTunda. We'll make Mike Mayer do
send
it.
us your email. We just
need Paul Heyman anyway. Yeah, we'll make him do the dirty work for us. But McTunda, congratulations. There you go. Here's one from Sabo. The Wolf Lodge pink eye poke. Also walking the line.
I do want to point out, I feel like I'm a little bit more of a crowd favorite. We got a lot of stuff for me. Joe might be the superior wrestler, and he is maybe, I don't know who's the baby face and the heel. I feel like you might be a little bit more heel, but I do feel like there's some good Welchismo in my camp right now.
Yes. Well, there's always good Welchismo on the show here today. Actually, it's the lightest day of injuries ever. Luis Robert resumed hitting, and Eduardo Rodriguez is close to beginning a throwing program. I could not really find anything substantial of any of that stuff going on, but we do have probably the biggest story in baseball going on tomorrow. And we will not be live for that, unfortunately, because it's a Saturday and we do get a day off here once in a while. So here is the big question. I know we talked yesterday about the Paul Skenes debut. I know Monday we're going to talk about it. I know we did the line predictions and things like that. And I say if Paul Skenes goes out there and has an outing that is as electric as that first Strasburg outing, are you really starting to put him on the trade block and redraft and just dangle him and see what you can get? Because to me, the only thing more exciting than the guy before he comes up here to make his debut with all the hype is the guy going out there in his debut and looking unbelievable at the major league level, which is what Strasburg did. And I knew people that year that turned Strasburg into Kershaw. I knew people that turned Strasburg into starting pitchers of note for the rest of the year based off that. I know, because I'm the one who pulled off the Kershaw deal. So I'm asking you, do you think that should be something people should be considering if Skenes goes out there, let's say goes 5 innings, strikes out 9 guys or 10 guys in 5 innings and just looks electric in that ballpark with all the fans?
Yeah, I think that's, of course, something that we talked about this some yesterday. That is something that you should consider. I have some overall concerns, like long-term, on Paul Skenes for redraft for this year, as far as like how high it would go. But yes, if the craziness is out there, you should consider it. I mean, what was this? Dylan said, you know, what? Oh, there it goes. Would you trade Paul Skenes for Corbin Burns? Why does it keep going away?
Oh, because I was celebrating McTunda.
Oh, okay. Like, yes.
If you could get Corbin Burns for Paul Skenes right now or Sunday night, I would do that. Whatever it takes.
Somebody tweeted me, would you trade Skenes and Imanaga to get Zach Wheeler? Yes. Zach Wheeler's the number 1 pitcher in baseball. Yes, I would do that.
It's a lot to give, but if I could get one other piece back with it that was useful, I get that too.
I don't think you need to do that. So if I could get something at the tippy top, yes. My assumption, I'm going to walk in with Paul Skenes is a top 25 to 30 range player. I think there are some limitations that are going to make it tougher for him as far as innings, actual like pitches in a game going 5. I'm just not sure that that's necessarily going to happen. So yes, if I could trade high, Welchismo is trading Paul Skenes.
By the way, Brandon in the chat, the Topher tombstone. Heart. Love this so much.
They all have great moves for me. They got great moves for me. You guys are
because I mean, no one's going to top the one that I came up with on the fly here. So everyone's just like, well, we're going to let that go. But for you, they have a lot, maybe
no one wants to touch
my sweet cream music. No, I can understand that. That's for sure. But you know what people do want, Welsh? They certainly want our best bets
of the day
with Jose Cannoli and Welchismo. That's right. Bet on Bet365, wherever you make your sports wagers. Make sure you use Betting Pros app, but make your wagers at Bet365. Use that promo code leading off. Bet $5. Get 150 in bonus bets when you do. And of course, as you can see today from the teaser, it's celebration of 20K day. That's right. Jose Cannoli, Welchismo, bringing you the best bets on Friday. It was a good day yesterday. Want to keep the ball rolling. I am hyper-focused again. I'm looking at that Dodgers-San Diego game. You got King on the mound. You got Glasnow on the mound. I'm going with the under 7.5 at -105. I like this number. Speaking of Tyler Glasnow, his number is 6.5 strikeouts, and he has been electric with the strikeouts lately. Over that number, you get +112. If you want to ladder bet this up to 10, I think you could today. Or I've got a little parlay action in the same game for you in a second. But before we get to more on that game, let's talk about Minnesota on the money line. Even money with Joe Ryan on the mound in Toronto today. Got some really nice numbers today. Today is a nice day for betting. The lines are good. Everyone should be going out there making wagers right now because the wagers right now on MLB – yesterday was weird, not a big slate of games. Some of these numbers during the week were kind of eh. Today's got some really good value on the board. Again, Joe Ryan, who's been a really good pitcher this year. I want Minnesota to keep this ball rolling after yesterday's Pablo Lopez start against Toronto. That's a good one. But going back to the Dodgers and the Padres, same game parlay. Take the Dodgers to win on the money line. Take Tyler Glasnow over the 6.5. And you get +182. If you take an alternate line with a higher number than the 112 on the plus side for Glasnow, you can even increase this to 2-1, 3-1, heck, even 4 or 5 if you want to go all the way up to 10K. So however you want to do it, go ahead. Bet responsibly, though, of course, when you bet on Bet365. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS off in Iowa. Terms and conditions do apply. But speaking of terms and conditions, Welsh, what are the terms and conditions? That's also a good finishing move for you. The terms and conditions, or maybe that's our tag team name, terms and conditions. That could be a good one too.
Welchismo's coming for you, bets. I've got my best bets of the day. Number 1, my best bet. We're crushing the Washington Nationals. We're crushing them because we're taking the Boston Red Sox full run line, 1.5. It's almost even money. It's like stealing a belt. It's like money in the bank. Yes, Boston Red Sox -1.5 on the run line. Patrick Corbin is on the mound. Ugh. Patrick Corbin, 7 starts, has given up at least 3 earned runs. In 5 of those starts, or actually 6 of the 7, he's given up those. In 5 of those starts, he's given up at least 4 earned runs. Tanner Houck is on the mound. We stand Tanner Houck. When in doubt, Tanner Houck, except when he does us wrong. Next up, and more crushing action, we're going with the Phillies through the first 5. We're going to take up by a run. -135 is a little bit juiced up, but boy, I love this one. I might even take 2 runs, to be honest with you. You're going to get much, much better odds. Give me Philadelphia, first 5, up a run. And I placed this one last night and I got a little bit better odds, but you guys can still place it today as I have hair that is sticking out. Welchismo's mask, it's not good.
Welchismo's been doing the show now for a half hour in that mask, and Welchismo made I think a poor decision in retrospect to do the full mask, whereas I went full Rey Mysterio style and have a little bit more.
Welchismo regrets. Welchismo regrets.
Welchismo has made bad life decisions. I like that you talk about yourself in the third person. That's what
Welchismo does. Welchismo is doing a little bit of a strikeout parlay. We're taking Brandon Pfaadt 5+, so essentially 4.5 over, and pairing it with your buddy Tyler Glasnow, but we're going over 5.5. So Pfaadt 5, Glasnow 6. It's essentially 1.5 plus 150 plus 144. I got a little bit of better odds. I like that one, and I will tell you the other one, you can't even play it, but I got it last night at -110, is Nerfy, the Cubs, and the Pirates, Jared Jones and Javier Assad, but you can't get good odds. If you do, you do it. Otherwise, you just watch me cash. Those are Welchismo's best bets of the day.
Download the Betting Pros app today. Start betting smarter, not harder. Why would you bet harder? That makes no sense. Join our group too, bettingpros.com/leading off. And of course, make sure you download that app and sync your sports books for free to get the best lines wherever you make your wagers. But make your wagers over at bet365. Use that promo code leading off when you do. Welchismo, it's time to look at the home run board. Now, I did not get a home run yesterday. I'm still at 12. Scalarp and Pazzi still at 15, so not too much has changed there. But I looked at the weekend, the pitchers that are coming up, and it looks like the Phillies and the Marlins have a few games together. So, of course, I'm going to use my good friend Bryce Harper for the weekend for my home run call. Welchismo, I want to see you on that board on Monday. So make sure that you select your tag team partner for home runs wisely today. Who are you going to choose?
We're going to go up against exactly who we're crushing. We're crushing the Nationals.
How many cans do you have?
It's the same can that I keep crushing, and now it's dripping. My God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's dripping. Oh, no. All right, sorry. We're going to go up against, it's so hard to laugh or do anything in this thing. I'm going up against Patrick Corbin. Give me Tyler O'Neill. The big, strong guy, hit big bombs. Welchismo like.
There you go. Welchismo like. And, I mean, if there was ever a giveaway meant for the show, it's this one. The Trophy Smack Fantasy Baseball Championship belt. This is my belt, and I want to give it to one of you because I am the champion of leading off. All you have to do is, of course, subscribe to the Fantasy Pros MLB channel, comment on this video or any video, but most likely this video. And again, comment below, ring the bell till it goes ding. And we're going to be giving this one away very soon because we got some other fun stuff coming around the pike. So get in on this if you haven't already. Don't forget to join our Discord too, fantasypros.com/chat. It's free. It's fun. We've also got another fun thing going on here too, because there was a fun little draft that went on cleaning up that I want to talk about. Actually, not on cleaning up, on the cycle, pardon me. So we have another baseball show here on the channel. It's the audio only with Mayor and the Worm. Ryan and Mike did a full.
We're coming for you, Mayor and the Worm.
That's right, but they've got Kelly in there too. And I don't want to fight Kelly because she will absolutely kick both of our rear ends. So I don't want to get involved. They're like a trio there. But they did a mock of the first round if it were to happen today. It was very interesting. We ran out of time to do it today, but I think next week we're going to do that. So Monday or Tuesday, I want to take a look at that. And in case you haven't heard it yet, or you only want just on YouTube, subscribe to the audio version of the podcast and you get bonus content like the cycle, which is great. So it's an hour-long deep dive in fantasy baseball. We're just a half hour short and stupid and fun over here on our channel. But, Welchismo, it's been an incredible ride to 20K. I'm so proud of our team in front of the camera, behind the camera, everybody that makes the show work. But I'm just blown away, as always, by our incredible audience here at Leading Off. And when we get to 25, we are going to do something extremely fun. I guarantee you. It'll be more than just pineapple pizza. It'll be a whole pizza party. Welchismo.
Did you want to tell people, by the way, real quick, do you want to tell people Joe's original idea for this was the Hamilton episode? Can you imagine us?
We were going to do a full musical episode. I was ready to write the opening or do the headlines at least. And we were going to have the wigs. That's also on the table. I'm just saying.
On the table.
Also on the table. You know what else is not on the table? These physiques. I'm working pretty hard, but I don't know if I can get quite there without some special vitamins. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're not. This is a dream. This is a cartoon, ladies and gentlemen. But those are some pretty good looks there. So that's the visual for the person that's going to go and make us on WWE on the video.
There you go. Yeah, if somebody does make that video of us fighting each other on the 2K game, please send it to us on X or
and the free Discord. Remember, go check out the free Discord because the other versions that Mayor put together are on the Discord right now on the Fantasy Baseball channel. I believe like the Simpsons version. There was a really funny one of me and you that Mayor's prompt was one of the funniest things ever, but we just didn't end up using it because these were so good.
Yes. Well, again, an incredible journey. 20K. They said a baseball channel for fantasy wouldn't work. They were wrong. Look at us. Look at you. We'll be back Monday to recap the Paul Skenes debut, all the weekend action, the 3 home runs that Bryce Harper's going to give me. Welsh will get on the home run board. Everything for everybody. But that'll do it for us. However, the story of the game goes on. For Welchismo, I am Jose Cannoli. Have sweet cream dreams, everybody. We'll see you Monday.
Gross. Welchismo.